Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Be me. About 4 years ago, 15, going to the movie theater with 3 friends. Neckbeardy friend, but a cool guy, is in the back seat with me. Geeky buddy up front driving with his brother in the passenger seat. Geeky buddy driving is a really careful driver, a sweet-hearted dude, and wants to help everyone. That will become relevant in a moment. We're driving pretty normally for about 20 minutes. Neckbeardy buddy tells the driver to pull off the highway on the next exit. He has to whiz. Driver buddy complies and pulls off, though where there should have been a long stretch of road and a McDonald's and a gas station and whatnot, there's nothing. No streetlights, nothing. We all have a collective what moment. Turn and get back on the highway. That had nothing to do with the actual event. I just thought you guys would like to know that little detail. We finally get to the next exit. This exit is weird. It's a really long stretch of road that ends in a loop. Only a few places like Burger King. We pull over at Burger King, and Buddy goes to take a piss inside. Driver and his brother get out, one to smoke, and the other because he just wants to stretch his legs. It's creepy. The street lights are old and have that yellowish tinge to them. There are few stars out, and the moon's shine is shit tier. I'm still in the car, just looking out the window. See something off in the distance. A group of people, about 20 or so, all of them dressed in black, about 16, stop at the edge of the loop, which leads into a dense forest-type area. The other 4 continue towards us. They gently turn and tap on the window. I begin screaming and banging on the window of the car, yelling for everyone to get out. Neckbeardy buddy comes out of Burger King. As everyone gets back into the car, they begin trying to calm me down. The people are getting closer. They break into a jog and then into a full-out sprint. Finally, everyone else sees them. Driver guns it and we speed off. Look back and they're all holding weapons like crowbars and pipes. One was holding a big-ass stick. They're wearing animal masks. Nope, nope, nope. GIF. They like to tell the story at parties and shit. I don't.
I'm from Denver, but have lived in LA for the last 15-ish years. This happened in the winter of 2006. Driving from Denver to LA. 1,100-mile drive. Done it so many times now, I can do it in less than 14 hours. I-70 to I-15 to the 210. Easy. Leave around 6:30 p.m. to get in around dawn. Drive through mountains and into the sand plains of Utah. Save for a dead zone of 150 miles after Grand Junction, you're never really far from a population. 1 a.m. and I'm pulling into Beaver, Utah. Not making great time, but who gives a fuck? I'm in no rush. Beaver's a tiny town in the middle of the World Wide Web, but it's also a traveler/trucker pit stop. No one's surprised to see you out in the middle of the night. No one's surprised you're not from around there. More gas stations than houses. Pull up to the pump and top off the tank. Striding to the convenience store to grab a Coke and throw a piss. See a group of 5 or 6 guys, 35 to 50 years old, standing around their trucks shooting the shit. Give a manly nod for hey and receive some in return. Walking back to my car, Coke in hand, notice the group is gone. Whatever rare. Pop the trunk to pull out my backpack and pop some Advil. Hey, man! Lift my head up, closing the trunk, see 2 guys from that group moseying up to me from the far gas pump about 50 feet away. Hey. Hey! Yeah, man? You mind giving me and my pal a lift? Already have 1 leg in the car. Yeah, I do. As I start the car, the engine drowns out his, "What the fuck's your problem?" Put the car into drive and about to hit the gas, the other guy chimes in. "Yeah, James. What are your fucking problem?" "That's my name. How the fuck do they know my name, What the fuck?" don't care to ask, and I start to take off. Scratch. Instinctively hit the brakes at one of the assholes, fucking up my car. Don't die for a paint job, homie. Quickly enters my mind, and I take off again. Heading to the exit, I'm too busy looking in my rear view at the two guys behind me, getting in a car that came from behind the gas station, that I almost don't veer out of the way of a SUV that gunned it parallel to me to block the exit. It's a huge-ass gas station, so I gun it, loop around, and fly out the far exit. The highway is a football field away, and I'm hauling to the on-ramp. Slam on the brakes to avoid turning myself and the car into a convertible from a semi exiting the highway. That split second and all the reversing, the speed advantage I had is gone, and there are two vehicles flying up on my stopped ass. Take the chance at falling into the ditch and gun it inches from the semi's trailer to get onto the on-ramp. For a split second, I'm thinking they were just trying to scare me, when I'm halfway up the ramp and haven't seen headlights behind me. Bravo, it's worked. Pang. Nope, two sets of high beams just turned on and are gaining quickly. I fucking floor it. From Beaver, Utah to Cedar City, Utah, I am flying, going 120 to 140 miles per hour. I quickly lost them, but any tiny glint of headlights has me back on the throttle. After about 30 minutes, I'm starting to settle down and ease back to normal, 85 miles per hour cruising speeds, right outside of St. George, Utah. I figure I'm safe, but my heart is still racing. Pull off the highway and head straight to the biggest and brightest gas station I can find. Thank you, Jesus. Look at all those beautiful U-Hauls and big rigs. Park right up front. Light up a cigarette and try to collect myself. Nerves settled by nicotine and dry heaves, I go inside and get a coffee. Walk back out and everything's fine, but sitting at the light indicator on to get back on the highway, I see there are two vehicles coming down the off-ramp. Fuck this. I tear through the red light, and the speedometer doesn't dip below 100 until I reach Vegas.
Driving from San Diego to Phoenix to visit some friends last summer. I can either drive north to the 10 freeway, which goes directly to Phoenix, or I can take a smaller highway east from San Diego that eventually meets up with the 10. The smaller highway is much more direct and lets me avoid a ton of traffic, but it is almost entirely through empty desert with very few gas stations. Trying to make the drive in one day, so I decide to take the shortcut. Drive east from San Diego for a few hours, eventually make it to a small town a few miles away from the Mexican border. I have about 2/3 of a tank of gas, so I decide not to stop. The 10 freeway is only 2 to 3 hours away with no traffic, so I think I can make it. Start driving through a completely empty desert. Every few miles, a tiny dirt road will shoot off from the highway, most of them completely unmarked. After about 90 minutes of driving, the warning light for my gas tank comes on. Starting to get worried because I haven't seen a gas station for over 30 minutes, and I don't think I have enough in the tank to double back. Finally, see a sign for a rest stop with a gas station, so I pull over. The gas station is deserted, but the pumps are on, so I fill up. Pull out of the gas station and start driving back to the highway. As I come up over a small hill, I see a car up ahead on the side of the road. The first car I've seen since I pulled off the highway. The driver's side door is hanging open, so I slow down a bit. As I get closer, I realize that there is a woman sitting next to the car. Her legs are splayed out into the road and her body is propped up against the side of the car. Her head is hanging limply to the side like she's asleep or unconscious. Her long dark hair is covering her face. think there's been a car accident or maybe she had a stroke or something, about to jump out of the car with my phone and call 911. Right as the adrenaline is starting to kick in, I get this sick feeling of dread. I realize that I have no idea where the fuck I am. I haven't seen another person or another car for at least 20 minutes, and now I might have just found a dead body on the side of the road. Starting to panic, decide I need to get out of there right now. I can call 911 when I'm back on the highway. Swerve into the opposite lane and floor it past the woman. Heart pounding out of my chest. Speed up for a few seconds, and then swerve back into my lane. Slow down a bit and let the dust clear behind me. Look in my rearview mirror. The woman is standing up next to the car and staring straight at me. I keep looking back at her through the mirror, and two more guys crawl out of the back seat of her car. They all point and stare at me. Slam on the gas again and floor it all the way to the highway. Don't stop until I make it all the way to the 10 and stop at a big gas station full of people.
Be 17 or so. Learning to drive. I go to driving school since my parents don't have the patience to teach me. Once a week, I have to go out driving with an instructor. This week is exclusively for driving at night. My instructor is a former state cop. He's the nicest instructor of all of them, so I'm not too worried about messing up. In the car, it's me, him, and another student in the back seat waiting for her turn. He directs me to drive around in the neighborhoods nearby. It's going okay. He tells me to turn left onto some street. I turn left. "Anon," says the ex-cop. "I told you to turn right." "What?" "No, he didn't. Shake it off. Maybe I misheard him." Next street, he tells me to turn right. I turn right. "Anon," he says, starting to get annoyed. "I told you to turn left." I'm flustered, wondering if I'm autistic, or is he just fucking with me? Why would this guy do that? This keeps happening, several more times, where I hear one thing, and apparently he said another. He threatens to give me a failing grade for tonight's instruction. I'm seriously getting upset. I try to ask the other student what she's heard, but she's been asleep the entire time. He just tells me to switch places with her. The disappointment in his voice is genuine. I never had any problems with the other instructors.
This happened not too long ago. Be at a friend's house around 2:30 a.m. We all leave to drive a friend home. Walk outside and see a black cat cross our path to the car. Two friends mock the black cat superstition. We get in the friend's car, it won't start. He has a car battery starter, and he asked me to go to his garage with him to get it. On the way to get the battery, he tells me that he feels like demons have been around him lately. He explains that batteries are dying for no reason, and that he turns out streetlights when he goes under them. We start the car battery and continue with our drive. After dropping off the friend, we started back to the other friend's house. We stop at a light, and someone stops next to us. My friend jokingly revs his engine, acting like he wanted to race. Turns out the guy did actually want to race. We race him for a while, but then we have to turn left onto another street. The guy continues straight and goes through the light. My friend rolls down the window, waves and yells, "Bye." The guy makes a U-turn across 6 lanes. He is heading straight for us. We freak out and pull into a nearby parking lot. We turn and look for the guy. He is nowhere to be found, as if he just vanished. We laugh about it and return to the driver's house. After a while, we decided to go home. I drove there earlier in the day, so I had my car. My sister and I head home. On one road that we're going down, we see a coyote. It's normal for this area. We get to a stop sign, and since I'm stopped, I turn my head to get a better look at the coyote. I don't see it anywhere. I asked my sister where it went. She said she saw it go over by a gate on the side of the road. No sign of it now. It couldn't have possibly gone through the gate. We start to get paranoid about the strangeness of the entire night. I told my sister about what my friend said about his demons. Right when I'm telling her about streetlights going out, we go under a light ourselves and it goes out. Both of us suddenly feel a ridiculous amount of fear. Tears flood my eyes. We finally calm down and get home. We ended up staying up and talking about paranormal things until it got light out. This may not be really exciting, but it's a true story, and it was just an overall weird night. I have another. This happened yesterday, and I also posted a thread about it, so if it sounds familiar, then that's why. Nice day, about 3 p.m. Driving with one of my best friends, my sister, and her boyfriend. Friend of mine is in the passenger seat. My sister and her boyfriend were in the back seat. We're going to get ice cream, and we're waiting to turn right onto another road. As we're waiting, it's a green light for the street perpendicular to us to turn left. I noticed that one of the cars that was turning looked just like the car that I usually drive. I had my dad's car instead today because my car was at the mechanic. It was a blue Dodge Neon. It caught my attention since I have that car, so I looked closer at it. I noticed an antenna ball head on the antenna. The weird thing is that it was the same one that I had on my car. Right after I noticed that, my friend yelled, "What the fuck, that's you." My gaze snapped to the driver. It was me. Same hair, same awkward sitting position, and they were even wearing one of the shirts I own. I only looked for like half a second since that is all of the time I had, but I still firmly believe that it was me in that car. I'm pretty sure I saw my doppelganger, or I witnessed timelines cross.
Be me. Be living on Staten Island a couple years ago. Be a dumbass who assumed living on Staten Island without a car would be as easy as living in Manhattan without a car. Take the bus, ride the railway, or walk everywhere. Be coming home late at night walking from the SIRR station. Suburbia on my right, a patch of forest on my left. Keep walking. About 3 blocks from home. See something lumber across the road about 300 feet away. It stops halfway through. Looks like a hairy child or some kind of monkey. Eyes are glowing. The neck suddenly stretches out like 3 feet longer and a little forward, like it's peering at me. Nope.gif. Take the long way home, cutting through the housing development even though the forest road is closer. Be talking to a friend on the phone a few days later, waiting for the bus opposite a large ridge where the land's being developed. Glance up at the top of the ridge, a head like a hairy child watching me from over the ridge in broad daylight. The neck stretches out and forward. Scream and drop the phone. Pick up the phone, hang up, and run like 3 bus stops away from whatever that is.
Never thought I'd have something to share on /X. Longtime lurker, first post. Be me 3 years ago, 21. In Florida, attending an A7X concert in Tampa Bay with my ex and 2 other friends. Concert ends late, everyone's drunk as piss. Me less so than everyone else. We went and ate some shitty fast food or something, too drunk to remember. Starting to sober up. I'm less drunk than everyone else, so naturally I get volunteered to drive. Still tipsy me kicks in. I got this shit.jpg. Start the 6-hour drive back to Middle Georgia at about 1 a.m. An hour in, everyone but me is asleep. No radio in the car, sucks to be me.png. About halfway into the drive, I'm feeling pretty recovered, but really tired. Of course, as if on cue, it starts drizzling. Stupid GPS takes me some back roads way instead of the highway, but hey, it saves me 25 minutes. Driving by a ton of wooded areas and pastures, no buildings in sight for miles at a time. Pass by a sign on the road that says Dark Marsh or Black Marsh or something. Sorry, can't remember exactly. The sign looked a little weird, like it was blurred or something. Start to worry if I'm getting too tired to drive. Driving, do-dee-do beep-bop, keeping myself entertained while everyone else sleeps off their drunkenness. Holy shit, what the fuck? There's a little girl in a white dress standing on the edge of the road. She's just standing with her back to the car. I slow down, but have trouble deciding whether to stop or not. She looks blurry like the sign from earlier. Maybe I'm hallucinating from being so tired. Fuck it. Speed back up. Another 5 minutes passes, and I see a man, pale white, skin and bone, bent over at a weird angle, watching the car. Ugh, I'm hallucinating. Maybe I should pull over and sleep. Its head turns as we pass it. Sufficiently creep the fuck out, I develop tunnel vision all the way back to our house and don't pay attention to anything on the side of the road.
Be me about a year and a half ago. Definitely around October in western North Carolina. So pretty chilly. Friends and I go to an abandoned tunnel about an hour away. Good place for ghost hunting and night hikes. Have it in our minds to do a serious ghost demon summoning this night. The tunnel and my town are deep in the backwoods. No streetlights or any of that fancy shit. Just a twisty road through the forest. Start driving toward the tunnel. Suddenly see an abandoned trailer on the side of the road. Not weird, the trailer is always there. Suddenly I see a horse. Stop the car. The friend stops the car and we see this random horse eating in front of a trailer. We get out and look at it. Not afraid of us at all, just keeps eating. Suddenly look at its leg. Injured and bleeding badly. What the fuck because of the strange situation? Get back in the car. Continue driving for about half an hour. Getting close to the tunnel. All of a sudden, two weird half-dog, half-pig creatures run across the road. I can't describe them. They look like pictures of chupacabras, but I've never heard of them in my area. My friend driving asks, "What the fuck was that?" Freak out a little. Keep driving. 10 minutes later, very close to the tunnel, looking out the passenger window. See another one of the creatures staring at us from the woods. My friend also saw it.
Not driving, but road-related. Be 6 years ago. 19th birthday. Was hit by a car on my 18th birthday, only hard enough to get knocked over and scraped up, and kept making jokes about how this year would be better. Be walking to the express bus to the college campus, running on time for once, almost to the corner. Hear someone breathing and groaning behind me. Turn. Nobody's there. Take a step. Something grabs my ankle. I fall like an asshole and curse real loud. Can feel a hand grasping my ankle. The bus comes up the hill and passes since I'm not at the stop. Freaked out. Decide to cut class today and try to get up. Success. Go to a coffee shop. Find out the bus crashed on the freeway and killed most of the passengers. The survivors all burned beyond recognition and are in critical condition. Realize something else wanted this birthday better too. People start mentioning to me that they sometimes see a man standing behind me out of the corner of their eye. 6 years later, still having people tell me that.
Be me driving home to visit family in a smallish SoCal town at 10 p.m. Lived in this town my first 18 years of life. While exiting the single-lane glorified highway, see a tiny triangle of lights in the sky above the cow farm. For some reason, it seems unique, even at this distance. Good thing I'm driving toward it to get a closer look. Drive on the cow farm road that has two 90-degree turns that you take at 15 miles per hour. The lights are circling the farm. Getting closer, see two white lights, one red light, and a spotlight. Wonder if a helicopter is looking for something. Getting really close. It's at the end of the first 90-degree left turn. Start getting really anxious. Can't make out the shape, because it's so dark out. Completely and utterly silent. Not a plane. Not a helicopter. What the fuck is that? Right under the thing. Slow down. Terrified. Can't see it above me. Make the second 90-degree. Turn to the right. Stop the car. Turn off the lights. The thing shines the spotlight at me in my car. Nope. Dot move. Hit the gas. Don't look back. My mom's house is about 10 minutes from there. We called the town airport and asked if there were any flights or searches going on above the road, and surprise, nothing.
Long one, so bear with me here. I'll try to make it as coherent as possible. Be me, 16. Used to steal wheelie bins from out the front of people's houses and take them into the nearby nature reserve and fill them with paper and have bin fires with mates. One night we are way up the hill. It's dark, and the bin fire is throwing strange shadows around the area. Was on cough syrup, so I DK what was real and what wasn't. Hear a noise behind me. Turn around. There's this weird-looking fella hiding behind some shrubs about 10 meters away from the group. When I say weird, I mean really strange, watching us intently, smiling but looks very scared, super dirty, looked homeless. I looked to him and away from him for a while, trying to figure out if I'm just tripping hardcore or if he is real. Meanwhile, he is just staring into the fire, eyes unblinking and not moving. One mate sees me looking off and asks what I'm looking at. Point in the direction of the man. My mates look over and everyone goes quiet. Now I'm worried. This isn't a hallucination. Everyone is staring right at him. The most alpha of our group says, can I help you? The strange guy snaps his eyes to my mate and looks shocked, as though he didn't realize anyone else was there. Impossible. We were having a rowdy arse time. He gets up and lets out a really guttural, strange noise that goes up in pitch into a squeal, turns heel, and bolts off into the bush. What? We all turn and run out of the reserve, all the way to my mate's house. The whole way, I swear I could hear that fucking noise behind us. Next day, we freak and decide to investigate, go back to the spot. Don't find anything suspicious for a while. A mate finds some old police crime scene tape. We all LOL and go back to the mate's house to get stoned and watch the Boondocks. Fast forward 2 weeks, hanging out with the mate whose place we stayed at and some of his older mates. We were 16, they were in their 20s. Tell them the story. The only older guy I like, I'll call him Mitch, says, "What the fuck? Are you serious?" We ask him what's wrong. He tells us that a few months ago he was bike riding through the same reserve when they smelt something really bad. They kept riding and came across what seemed to them to be a satanic or dark magic sacrificial site. At least 30 kangaroo bodies around a site that was around 10 meters by 10 meters. Some of the roos were hung by their tails from the trees. Some had been beheaded. Most were just dumped in a big pit in the center of the site with their throats slit. They were all on acid, so they noped out of there. Went back a few days later to reality check it. They found the site. The kangaroo bodies were gone, but there was still blood on the ground and ground cover, and there was police tape everywhere around it. We never went back into that reserve again, apart from one time when we were bailing from cops that were chasing us because we were out tagging. The whole 10 minutes we spent in there, I was freaking out, feeling shit on my skin and hearing shit. Paranoia. Don't think that was actually happening.
Be my dad at 17 years old. Be driving home from the graveyard shift through the woods in Virginia. Hour-long drive, about 1 a.m. currently, should be home at 2 a.m. Mom always waits up until 2 a.m. to make sure. Only one on the road. See bright lights from an 18-wheeler from behind. Coming too close, too fast. Light filling the car. Wait, are those even headlights? Come to, pulled off to the side of the road. Didn't feel like waking up, just where memory begins. Can't remember pulling off the road or turning off the car. Nothing. Seatbelt fastened, the car turned off. No clock in the car, this was the 70s. No idea what time it was. Start the car, confused, finish driving home. Mom freaking out. It's 3:30 a.m. The lost time really freaked everyone out. His memory skips from about 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. with absolutely nothing in between. He likes to think he was abducted, and I like to think so too.
Be me. Be a clown. Just got done with a little kid's birthday party. Time to go home and drink some beers. Fuck yes. Kid's dad won't stop talking to me though. Realize it's getting late. Tell him I gotta go and do clown shit. Go out to my car. Battery is dead because I was using a power inverter to run a mini air compressor for balloons. Go to house and knock on door. All the lights are off. Can hear a husband and wife having sex time on second story. Just want a GTFO. Start walking down the road. See headlights up ahead, maybe they'll give me a ride. Smile my biggest smile. Car swerves towards me and speeds up. Car runs the fucking shit over me. What the fuck .png? Feel like I've cracked a rib. Slowly stand up. Raise hand about to yell at them. See reverse lights come on. Nope .jpg. Get run over again. Car drives off. Hear people screaming. Limp home with broken ribs and sprained wrist. Go to 7-Eleven to get a beer. It's 2:01 a.m. and they won't sell me beer. Lost my mind and beat cashier to death with fire extinguisher. Drag body home. My face when I'm Gacy.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.